Hey, what's up, you guys? I'm Colin Costello. Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to talk about an artificial intelligence stock called Veritone. Do you have any AI in your portfolio? Well, if you don't, you definitely want to stick around and check this company out. They're involved with a bunch of different markets. First, we'll learn about what Veritone does, and we'll check out all these markets they're in and how they're involved in them. Then we'll stack them up against some competitors. To do this, we'll be looking through their 10K, their investor presentation, and look at some of their financials and see how they add up. So stick around, you guys, and check out Veritone, as this is one you might want to put down on your watch list. Now, the first thing I do when I'm looking into a company, if I don't know much about them, I go to the 10K report and I look at their business section. This will explain what they're about, and if I like this, then I'll look farther into them. Now, I've already read this whole 10K, and it's not a quick process, so I'm just going to scan quickly through these. And if you guys want to check it out yourself, just look up the Veritone 10K report and you can read through it.
Veritone is an AI provider for computing solutions. Veritone has developed an operating system called AIware that integrates and orchestrates an open ecosystem of top-performing machine learning algorithms or cognitive engines. With Veritone's suite of powerful applications, they are able to reveal multivariate insights from vast amounts of structured or unstructured data to conduct cognitive workflows based on these insights. Their AIware platform uses a proprietary technology to integrate and orchestrate a wide variety of cognitive engine capabilities to mimic human cognitive functions, such as perception, prediction, and problem solving.
Now, if you didn't understand that, then don't feel bad. Let's look at a quick clip from the CEO, Chad Steelberg, and maybe he can explain his vision a little bit better.
Key person I'd like to harken back to is Steve Jobs, right? Steve Jobs gave a very famous interview a few years ago where he was asked a question, what is a computer to you? And in that interview, Steve answered the question with, a computer is a tool for the mind. And if I could have Steve sitting here right now with us and spend a couple hours with him showing him what we have built at Veritone and AIware, I think he would change his answer. For a computer isn't a tool for the mind, it is a mind. And since our inception, Veritone's entire purpose for existence is basically transitioning a computer from being a tool to being a mind through the power of an operating system for cognition.
Wow. Veritone wants to take the computer from a tool for your mind and turn it into a cognitive thinking human-like mind. This allows us to work together, and it eliminates a lot of the human workflow, as they can do things in seconds that takes us hours and hours. You guys, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button down below and join the family. If you like talking about ways to make your money work and grow for you, then that's what we do here. So hit the subscribe button, it's free, join the family, we have a lot of fun around here. Let's get back to talking about Veritone.
Veritone AIware will soon be everywhere, listening, watching, analyzing, and optimizing the world's information and infrastructure. The first operating system for artificial intelligence, AIware orchestrates a diverse ecosystem of machine learning models to transform audio, video, text, and other data sources into actionable intelligence. With AIware, digital workers save manual review time, gain valuable data insights, and cognitively enrich end-to-end workflows. AIware lowers the cost, complexity, and time to develop, deploy, and distribute cognitively enabled applications across any cloud or on-premise infrastructure.
Next, we're going to take a look at the markets that Veritone's in and the solutions they offer in these markets. You guys, don't forget to smash that thumbs up button and help this video to get shown. We're a young channel and we need all the support we can get. So smash that thumbs up button.
Check out the solutions that Veritone have to offer. This enables them to go after many markets. They have AI-enabled content monetization, media and entertainment solutions, national and local government solutions, legal and compliance solutions, and one of my favorites, clean energy solutions. Veritone has a Veritone media platform that they use for their content monetization in their media and entertainment solutions. The Veritone media platform can process thousands of hours of audio and video, taking in the content and leveraging it with state-of-the-art artificial intelligence engines such as natural language processing, speech recognition, facial recognition, tonal analysis, and sentimental analysis. This turns the data into actionable intelligence. So instead of people manually watching and listening to hours of audio and video to find out when advertising and branding actions occur, this costs companies millions of dollars for this to occur. So this platform, Veritone Media, This can accomplish these feats in minutes or even seconds. They developed a seamless and very powerful technology that allows them to bring resolution and accuracy tracking, product placement, opening up a new ecosystem of ad dollars they can invest into programming, making it very effective for the advertisers and agencies and acceptable by the end consumers.
Next, we're going to look at their government solutions and check out their redact feature. This is one of the features I think will be the most profitable for Veritone.
Veritone's national and local government solutions. Veritone's using intelligence to rapidly extract actionable insight from evidence, enabling public safety agencies to safeguard citizens by rapidly extracting actionable intelligence from evidence, accelerating investigations, surveillance, and the judicial process. You can see some of the customers they already have there, all the police forces, and you can see some of the partners they have there, being huge names like Microsoft and Oracle.
The redact feature will greatly reduce costs for government and law officials. Say you had a robbery occur outside of a store. Well, the police would go obtain all this footage and they'd sit there and they'd review all the security footage from all the nearby cameras, taking hours and hours reviewing footage, looking for when the robbery occurred. Well, the redact feature, you can give them thousands of hours of video footage and say, look for an instance where someone pulls out a gun or someone's wearing a mask or so on and so forth. And the redact feature will pull this out in very small amounts of time. So this greatly reduces costs for government and state officials. Now, as I was reading through the 10K also will tell you risks that you have for your investment. So if you invest in this company, they'll go over all the situations that could happen and where you may lose money. We all know the stock market is risky and you can lose your money. So one of the risks was for their redact feature and them using facial recognition to identify suspects. Well, some states and countries and so on and so forth, they're making it illegal to use this facial recognition because they believe it could falsely identify some people. Veritone is also involved in clean energy solutions, and I love anything to do with clean energy. I think it's a great thing to be invested in. I'm invested right now in a microgrid company already. I made a video about that one. You'll leave a card right up there if you want to check that out. But clean energy, in my opinion, I think it's going to be huge in the future. We all know some states are going carbon neutral, and they're trying to do more and more so. So anything to do with clean energy catches my attention. Now let's look at some of their clean energy solutions.
Veritone's also using their AI solutions for clean energy, accelerating the world's transition to more sustainable, reliable, and affordable energy. They have their Veritone Forecaster, their Veritone Controller, a Veritone Optimizer, Veritone Arbitrage, and Veritone Simulator.
These solutions are solutions for microgrids that would forecast weather. So if it was going to rain and you're not going to get much solar into your microgrid, it would use the power grid. It would talk back and forth and tell it that. Or, if you had a high demand for electricity on the power grid and electricity was more expensive at that time, this controller would tell it to switch on your microgrid or use your energy that you already have sustained. The next thing I would look at in the 10K is the management discussion and analysis. That will give us some forward-looking statements. It'll show us acquisitions and so on and so forth.
Here's the management's discussion and analysis of financial condition and results of operations. This is the section in the 10K. You can see it has an overview of the company. It has acquisitions. They acquired Performance Bridge on August 21st of 2018. Wazi Digital on August 31st of 2018. Machine Box goes over their key performance indicators and how they track their KPIs. It goes through a bunch of different things. So once again, this is the MD&A. You can click on this, but next we're going to scroll down and just look at their profit margin, which is also found in here. It's a few pages away, so let's take a look at the profit margin. If we scroll farther down in item 7, or the MD&A section, we get to the results of operations. Here we see their net revenues, their gross profit, and so on and so forth. Well, if we take their net revenues and their gross profit and we divide them, we get their gross profit margin. So ending December 31st of the fiscal year 2019, which is the last report, it's a 65% gross profit margin. Now we can compare that to the last year of 2018 they reported, and they had a 76% gross profit margin. So we can see that went down a little bit. Now you can look into their operating expenses, their research and development, see where they spent a little bit more. If you look their research and development and their sales and marketing, those are pretty close for the 2 years. We see general and administrative, there's a significant difference between the 2 years, so that's where some of the expenses went.
Breaking down the gross profit margin into a percentage is just one thing you can break down into a percentage. If you do this, you can evaluate it against other companies that may trade at higher valuations or very higher share prices. So if you compare their percentages with different things, you can stack them up against other companies. Now let's take a look at the balance sheet. We'll see what they got for cash and we'll see what they got for debt.
This is off of MarketWatch. This is the annual balance sheet. Now the 10K, you can go through that and it'll tell you so much more information than we went through it. But if I went through it and showed you where they lost and made money, and you can go through everything. I mean, you can really break it down. But if we did that, this video would be an hour long. So if you want to check out the 10K once again, just look up Veritone 10K. Now this is the annual balance sheet from MarketWatch. We look and we see they have cash and short-term investments of $44.7 million. Now what I do real quick is just add up the cash and short-term investments. I add up their long-term investments. Then I add up their short and long-term debt and I stack it up against each other. So they had cash and short-term investments of $44.7 million, and they have a long-term investment of $1.17 million. If we add that up, it's $45.24 million. Now let's go look at their long-term debt and their short-term debt, and we'll add that up, and we'll see how it stands up to opposed to their cash pile. Now it appears they have no short-term debt or long-term debt, which is very good. So we're going to look at their current assets to their current liabilities and subtract that, and we'll get their equity. Here we see they have total assets of $108.53 million. We scroll back down and we see they have total liabilities of $61.12 million. Well, if we subtract that, it's $47.33 million in equity. Veritone being a newer company to me, I did not know who their competitors were, so I just typed in Veritone's top competitors, and MarketBeat actually gives you a list of their top competitors. So Veritone versus Sohu.com stock. We'll look at this one example for sake of time, and you guys can check this out yourself, or you can do the analysis yourself. So Veritone versus Sohu, we see, there's differences in gross revenue. One having 1.85 billion, Sohu, and Veritone having 49.65 million. This is why we did that example with the gross profit margin earlier, where we break it down into a percentage, and we can compare percentages when there's large differences like this. So we have analyst recommendations, which I don't usually pay attention to, or, I'll look at them, but it doesn't affect my decision in a stock, should I say. We have Veritone having 1 sell rating and 4 buy ratings. We also have Veritone beating Sohu.com on 8 of the 14 factors compared between the two stocks. Now, if you guys would like to check this out, this is MarketBeat. I'll put a link in the description down below.
Veritone trades under the ticker symbol VERI, and they report earnings this Monday after hours, Monday, November 9th. So keep that in mind if you're thinking about getting into them. They're also a very volatile stock, you guys. This one goes up and down. It's a low float. So if you're not used to that, keep it in mind also. Now, thank you so much, you guys. If you stayed till the end of this one, it was a long and slow one, but hey, sometimes we got to look a little farther into things when we don't know about them. So I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in. Now leave me a comment in the comment section down below. I love hearing from each and every one of you. Also, join the family if you haven't yet. We're trying to create a community where we can all put our heads together and all come up with ideas. So with that being said, I'm Cullum Costello. Hit that subscribe button, tap that thumbs up, and go out and get money.